Real-time creators must be 18 or older to go live. Viewers must be 18 or older to recharge and send gifts. Remember to create a safe viewing experience by following our community guidelines. I gotta practice speaking more, man. You know, one of the things as you get old. B. Jackson, number one. Farhan Nazir. I got the little high-pitched whistle. I lost my other whistle. Caller is with. What's up? Happy Sunday. Welcome to Atheist Church. Yeah, here we are, trying as hard as we can to bring back science, right? Science losing right now. I don't know what the fuck's going on. Use a lot of numbers. Get yourself a username, man. It's not that hard to do. Pat Papadea, Pat Papadea, Pat Papadea, Gurjan Drost, Gail John Drost, and Paul Andrus. What's up, people? Mac is with us, Mama Bat. Yeah, jumping on a little late. Also on YouTube, trying to get to that magic 1,000 followers on the tube so we can start fucking with street preachers a little bit more on the tube. I still don't have any real confidence that I'm going to be able to stay on TikTok very long with my content, being as anti-Christian as it is. It's like, yeah, well, we've gotten that spot, haven't we, where the government is propping up a dying religion because they know how badly they need it to stay in power. Oh man, I'm trying to get the YouTube camera to stand up. I don't have a proper camera stand for this son of a bitch, and so it's just kind of rigged up here. That's not bad. What's up, Bohemian? There she is. Yeah, I got going late this morning. Larry Biddens is here. The Slate Band. Oh, I'm so sorry about Minnesota, man. Mac is um and watching that not see get run off on a live stream. Yes. Oh, oh, I didn't watch that. I should have. I was busy yesterday. A not see. I see what you did there. Yeah, do tell. I'm gonna have to look at that. Did they chase away one of the fuck? I love that when that happens. That school teacher who like blew up on somebody and just like told them off. What's up? What's with the ouch, Bohemian? What happened? Um, Robert Rance is with us. What's going on, people? Yeah, we are living through the death of democracy and the country as I always do. It's like for me as an old guy, it's like a dumpster fire watching it come apart here. But what happened now is like Greenland on the block, right? I don't know. I've got Republican senators coming out. Oh, because of the camera. Talking about impeaching him if he just like tries to do that. And Fareed Zakaria this morning talking about how the others are having somebody on talking about how this is like his legacy. He wants to be seen as like James Polk, and it's so obvious. We're living through the small penis era. He's like, look how I can shove Venezuela around. I can take the little guys in my neighborhood just like Putin does in his neighborhood. It's literally what he's setting up. His chance to just take control of the shit around him because that's what he's letting everybody else do. You watch. China's just going to take Taiwan now because we just took Venezuela. They'll be bag running themselves soon. Yeah, right. Oh God, Johnny! It's Johnny with the. It takes more faith to be an atheist. Good one, man. Which afternoon preacher did you hear that from? Which youth pastor did you hear that from? That old chestnut from. Takes more faith to trust evidential based facts than it does to believe in a mythological being. Yeah, that's all good. Praying, yeah. Thinking for you, Johnny. User a lot of numbers. What's up, user? Give me a line here. Why can't you choose a username? Swing Daiva. Yuri Mersala is with us. Sonia Lusarchik. Sonia Ann Lusarchik. What's up, Sonia Ann Lusarchik? Love that. It is in my mouth. Vengeance. We got trolls coming on board. We got trolls, people. Yeah. Flying solo for probably for the foreseeable future. But yeah, we try to do this every Sunday at 10:30 or so. Got going a little late this morning, like I say. It keeps on snowing like this much here, and then my guys got to go out and snow, and so um, the the salt goes down, the plows don't. So it's all right. It's money, right? We have to plow in the winter. But when it doesn't snow enough to plow, but it gets icy, then they just want salt, and you do less work and you charge almost the same. It's awesome. So yeah, pennies from heaven, so to speak. Go Muhammad is with us today. Jacques the Jezebel. Yeah, the trolls are. It's like about this time. If you're on the East Coast, especially, I guess it's 10:30 here, 10:50 now on the in the Central Zone. And do please join us on YouTube. I can say stuff on there that I can't really say. I can't say the word stupid here. We'll see how fast I get kicked off. But you know what we're really living through a time where they have miseducated the public to the point where the people are so stupid they will believe that a con man is actually out for their best interest. They will believe that a guy who blames others for criminal activity simply convenes his own criminal activity at every turn. The guy says he's the anti-war president, starts wars to take over places, and then threatens our allies to start a war. The guy who calls other people the creators of fake news is always coming up with another piece of fake news and lying about something. But it's just for me, like I said, it's interesting to fucking see where this is going to go because at some point people they're just gonna be like, what? But he seems like, especially with these creeps at ICE, like he's got his own little army of lackeys that'll do what he wants, and they're kind of proud to be taking it out on brown people. The guy who did Renee Good, what a piece of shit. He's looking for a chance. All you can do is watch the video. He's like, oh, there's a guy. He knows he's got immunity, looking for a chance, um, and just took it, right? Yeah, you're on board with what he did, right? You thought that was all. Oh yeah, right. His life was really in danger. Their Lord in failure. Yeah, nothing fails like prayer, doesn't it? Thanks, thanks. We'll be praying for you. Okay. You know, what my mom said to me one time. Well, prayer must always be accompanied by action. Okay, mom, did you hear what you said there? So what happens if you don't accompany prayer with action? Oh yeah, nothing. What's up, Sergio? Sergio Ernesto. My high respect to you, atheist. I'm one top proud. What? I'm one top proud. I don't know what that means, buddy. Sergio Ernesto. Hablo español. Que dime en español o italiano. Everything is doing well, Jake. Thank you, thank you. Basketball cross guy, Stargazer, Mike. Lottie Dottie, what's up, Lottie? Haven't seen you in a minute. Lottie Dottie, love you. Hey, I think that the world is going to let Trump have Greenland, and we will be so disappointed. Well, in the end, I mean, we already have it. That's what. Why is he? That's what I don't get. He's showing off. He wants to be known as the president who made us bigger and safer and expanded our territory. When it's like, what? Denmark's not going to tell us no to anything in the Greenland. Go do what you want to do. They want protected. Well, we need Greenland. We need Greenland. Shut up. Every time he opens his sick fucking mouth, it makes me want to puke. He's literally the piggy fucking president of all time. I drink coffee and then have fictional arguments with myself in the shower. Thank you, Laszlo Cerveza. Oh, Cervera. Ya te dije cerveza. Y no eres Cervera. Laszlo Cervera. I love that. Yeah, Sergio. Cuatro, cinco, seis idiomas. Apple user, yay. I want somebody who's stupid to tell me what to do. Let me blame everything. Here he is. Here you go. We'll do this. I get the whole bit for you. How did he do with Iran? I love how he threatens Iranian protesters while he's got his foot on American peaceful protesters, shooting them in the face. But it'll go very bad for them. It'll go very, very bad for them if they and they're like, oh, it stopped, right? He like tells you there's the problem, then he shows you how he fixed it. It's literally to stand back and watch it objectively is hysterical. And people like again, I'm not Johnny Left, right? I'm just looking for political compromise in the middle to get things done. This is the greatest thing you ever saw. We need Greenland. We're gonna get it one way or the other. Tell me I'm great with my disgusting cloud of hair. Uh, Good. I hope you're giving it to my mom hard. She needs it. Oh, you're not even talking to me. Go, Apple user. Save awesome. What's up, my bud? Yes, hell yes. We're living in the tiny penis era. Living in the small penis era. Look at what our aircraft carrier can do. Look, we shut down Venezuela, pulled the plug on their electricity, and we went in and we took their dictator. We're the greatest. We're so good. No, I'm not a veteran. I know you were. Sorry, Apple. Sorry, Vengeance. You guys are all over it. He flicked the tiniest bird in the world. Yeah, what did you see that? I wish I could do it. And the thing is that the people that don't care if he's statesman-like uh, think it's cool. They're like, yeah, I support his flipping off a okay. You know what? I don't know. I get that people like it because he doesn't care what people think, right? But there's still, I think, a place for statesmanship and presidentiality and diplomacy in the world. And he's just a fucking unhinged lunatic. He's just an idiot. Uh, yeah, it's true. 10:50 corn time. What does that mean, Bohemian? Yeah, right. It's like we're on the Titanic, right? And those of us who are older, like, you know, it's kind of like watching a train crash from a distance where you're not quite sure if it's going to hit you. You know. Oh, thanks, thank you, Soul. The Ford guy, the factory worker who worked there and yelled at him. Yeah, yeah. But that's all right. You know, the first felon, Agent Orange, will be. He'll forever be a hero to the people who think that's funny to just flip or make a meme about dumping your shit on protesters, who they're not protesters. They're actually domestic terrorists because they don't agree with Glorious Leader and his fucking. Like he's always been ugly. Have you noticed that? Like I thought he's one of those guys. Like every guy sort of thinks he's good looking. That's like our psyche. No matter how ugly a guy is, he thinks he's hot. Whereas women, no matter how hot they are, they're sure that they're ugly on some level. Dudes are deranged that way, but he is like he's never been anything but a liver-lipped, chinless, tiny-handed, weird-looking fuck ever. And now that his real inside has come out, has just made him really physically even uglier, doesn't it? He's ugly to the bone, right? Beauty is skin deep, ugliest to the bone. The tiny the mouth, the way he holds it in his bottom, I can't really mimic it. I wish I could. It would be a funny impression. But he's got this way that his bottom teeth kind of showing a little ugly bow. Yeah, he did say it himself, and it doesn't matter, right? Because I didn't mean to invite you, Yammerhand. Sorry, clicking on that. Arch Radish, what's up? Vinny 666. Krista Morales, what's up, Krista Morales? Well, they love it, you know. So, salt four slugs, salt four slugs, salt four slugs. That's Trump. All Trump has is salt for the people that the salt of the earth. See what they did there? The people in the country, the dim-witted, fucking uneducated fuckwits who voted for him because he's going to take it out on them dirty immigrants. It's so hysterical to see him every time he does something stupid, deflect. Every time he does something shitty, Epstein, whatever it is, caught doing this, seen doing this, heard doing this. Did you see what the immigrants did? They're living from insane asylums. First of all, it's Asila, I think, but he keeps going back to that. Like a lot of the people. Uh, oh, corn time is Central Time, Lucy. What are the other time zones, please? What's the Eastern Time zone? Lobster time. That's funny. Corn time. Uh, Mega punch down instead of blaming billionaires that explain. Well, that's what it's like, isn't it? They're like the youngest kid who people haven't been paying. People have very. They feel like people have been shitting on them forever, So they're going to kick the dog now, right? They don't have a younger sibling to kick, so they take it out on the dog. That's really what it's like. It's hysterical. And to watch the trolls, and it looks like we caught a bunch of Trumpy trolls already today who still are like they think it's really good. I'd love to have a good, solid Republican for president. Not an unhinged lunatic, not a guy who's clearly just taking advantage of people, not a guy who makes a deal for everything so that he can make some money on whatever it is. Like, we wanted Venezuela's oil, which honestly, in the scheme of things, I don't really care about Venezuela that much. It's more about his process, right? And his lack of authority to do everything he's doing and just like go with it, right? In the end, okay, Maduro, okay, fuck him. But the whole thing is just so fucking shady and so aimed at inflaming the imbeciles that voted for this guy. I don't know, but I'm not the guy to ask about this, but deportations there was plenty of deportations going on in every presidency. He just does it louder, like everything, louder and ignorant, and he's empowered poorly trained haters who aren't moral. They're not decent people. They want to go out there and take out their frustrations on an unseen, unknown enemy until they see him and identify him in public and shoot him in the face. Yeah, it's not. And again, you can say that all politicians have and that's politics, all right. But yeah, I think that's really the issue. When people are like, why don't you just go? I'm like, because the Republicans are just evil. They've they've joined the dark side. They truly, truly, truly have embraced hate and hypocrisy, right? But meanwhile, they're the Christians, right? Is there anybody anywhere who thinks what's going on reflects Christian values? Is this what Jesus would do? Is this how? But no, to them, it's just an identity politics. America is Christian. I'm Christian. If you're not, you're a terrorist. Nobody cares if they deport illegal immigrants. Go find them, identify them one by one, and take them out. Don't jump into schools and drag people out in front of their people and make an idiot out of yourself, upsetting communities that have been working fine and aren't asking for it. Go find the criminals. People, what's wrong with you? Nobody's saying don't deport criminals and don't deport illegals. It's the way he's doing it in a ham-fisted, unelegant, idiotic, boorish, stupid, dictatory way. The fucking guy needs to go away. It's disgusting. Half of his ideas are good. He's just so mired in his own narcissism and his lack of ability to filter any fucking thing that comes out of his stupid, ugly mouth that he'll never ever. He's got the worst. Why does he have the worst approval ratings in the history of the president? Worse than his own last time. Because he's a disgusting, evil fucking person. The worst possible person to lead any people. Dangerous, and if we survive this, it'll be amazing. Historians, I hope I live long enough to see any objective historian look at this fucking era of America and decry the deplorables for what they are and what they did to the world. Yeah, right. It's this guy. This is what we're dealing with, though, right? I remember John. I was thinking about the John McCain confrontation. I'm gonna miss John McCain. One for the war hero. Didn't Trump call him a loser? He's a loser. You know why he's obsessed with calling people? Because his dad called him a loser his whole life. Every time Trump calls somebody low IQ, I chuckle because I can hear one of his professors in the past saying that phrase to him. Well, you're a low IQ guy. You might have to lean on your money and your inheritance. And now he's obsessed with pinning other people with a low IQ thing. Yeah, again, and people that are here, in an undocumented way, but have been contributing and paying taxes. There's a different way. There's a different way. Give them a ticket, hold them accountable, make them come in, make them jump through hoops, make them pay. Who cares? But this thuggery on the streets, you're seeing it. Nobody would have gotten killed at all in Minneapolis if ICE hadn't been there. Just like in Kenosha, if old Rittenhouse hadn't showed up with his fucking piece, nobody would have died in those riots at all. They're not making those cities safer. They're the ones making them more dangerous. Crazy. Yeah, good comment, Wild Wolf imbecile. He was a traitor because he spent all that time in the cage under the river, he getting his toes chewed by rats. Why are you yelling at me with all caps, user? A lot of numbers? What statement? You won't survive. You don't know me, do you, dirty? I, for one, don't believe there is any problem with immigration. Well, I think the open border is a bad idea. But again, I've never met an immigrant that I thought was a criminal or a shitty person. If you ask me right now, would I rather live on a block of undocumented immigrants, choose them at random, or would I rather live on a block of MAGA Trumpy Christians? I choose the immigrants every day. I choose the Muslims every day. I choose the Hasidic Jewish community every day. I choose Ilhan Omar's district in Minnesota with all the Somalis. I choose Hamtramck with the fucking Adan going across the airways over any fucking block full of evangelical lunatic fuck shit Christians. They suck. They're the worst people on the planet. I'm a blue dot in Florida. Good for you, the platypus mafia. I just picked on the Christians real bad. I'll probably get kicked off, people. So sorry about that. Join us over on YouTube. I thought his professors were paid to give him good grades. Well, maybe, but why won't he release his records then, right? Isn't that famously? He won't release his college records, Lucy. Nice, you're agnostic. Well, so are we all, because nobody knows. It's a claim to knowledge. You don't know. You don't know if there's a God. None of us know if there's a God. Some of us pretend we do know. So you got restricted. So yeah, but congratulations on that, Platypus Mafia. It's better than identifying as a lot of things. So to me, agnosticism doesn't really say it. It's like saying I'm an oxygen breather. Trump was able to pick out a giraffe, was he? Nice. Remember when he had to ask how to pronounce acetaminophen? What harm does an open border pose? Well, I think a lot of shitty people did get it through. I'm not sure that's in dispute. I'm not sure why a company or a country with our capability can't set up a border that works, right? That you can keep track of people and the ones that are trying to get across the river where there's a hole in the fence. Make it so they can come and have an easier time doing it the right way. I don't. It seems um, you know we've got cancer drugs that target cells in this way that could have never been specified in the recent past. We've got satellites and probes that go to the outer planets, but we can't deal with the border. Come on. Of course, most immigrants are more law-abiding. Scott Clowers with us. Cletus Van Dam, thank you for the follow, my friend. No Name is with us. Joe Gonzalez, 4100. You have a diesel queued out for everybody. Yes. Oh, it's the Atheist Underground. Follow us on YouTube where they are. There's YouTube. There's Talk. It's just me and you, Lucy. Somebody else. It says I got two. But literally, we're just trying to get to 1,000 followers on YouTube so we can go live from the street. That's their requirement. You'd think it would be easier for a guy with this many followers on the talk, but it's been a struggle. So after I hang up here, I'm actually going to go work on some content. For that, what's up? Beep beep, Richie. What's that mean? Should be no more immigration until we have no more homeless. In my opinion, not really related. We shouldn't have any more homeless, no matter what the situation is. There's too much capability, too much open land, too much goodwill, too much rich construction people. We could solve homelessness if we just put our minds to it. But I get what you're saying. I do. Joe Gonzalez, no estás migrante tú. Request. I chose what? I chose the other path. Is with us. What's up, man? You there? What's up?
So I've been on here before.
Yeah, no, I remember you now.
I'm just going to attack from the left a little.
Okay.
And say that there is no crisis at the border.
Okay.
And never has been.
Okay.
Like it's a ginned up boogeyman nonsense, because like the crime is being done by the police. Like the 40% of them admit to SAing their spouse, right? Like the problem is not immigrants.
Well, I agree completely with that, 1,000% with that. But you know, and I'm not really on top of the stats enough to know. But I think the actual, what, even if every immigrant was a great person, it's you can't have people just streaming across rivers, cutting barbed wire.
Well,
If
sure, but that's not what an open border is. I think let's look at the EU,
yeah,
right? And look that anywhere where you have a hard border, you have human casualties, right? We don't have that. We never had that problem with our border with Canada. I'm from New England. You could just walk over for decades, and there was no crisis at the border. The crisis is created by the violence needed to maintain the border.
yeah, whatever. It's the problem.
That's it. I'm
We
just
don't
gonna
have
say,
Canadians
like,
streaming across the border because that situation is entirely different. If they were in the situation that the Mexicans were in, who were trying to come across the southern border, it might be different. It's not. I mean, you're comparing apples to oranges there. There's there's got to be, there has to be a better way to run a border than the way it has been done and is being done now. There just has to
well,
be.
sure, but
You
for me,
you
like I
can't
said,
just say
like
there's no problem with the open
an
border.
open
I
an
think it's
open border.
I think it's been pretty well documented by some objective sources that it was whatever was going on was failing and causing problems that maybe weren't the ones that we're seeing now played out on the streets in terms of violent crime. I agree 100,000% that all that the problem with immigrants is being fabricated to scare a populace that's never even going to meet an immigrant.
Okay, that's all I was saying, is that it's like a
Yeah,
boogeyman. Like
absolutely.
like when people fear immigrants, they misunderstand the dynamic of this country.
Yes, I
Like,
agree. But an out of control border that doesn't, it just has no
have we ever had
realistic
that?
hope of documenting what's actually going on is
Do
not.
you think we've ever had an uncontrolled border?
Yeah, apparently, yeah. At some point, why if we hadn't, why are people streaming across the border at non-entry points?
Mm.
If we if we just had an open border, why are people trying to fucking climb across?
Okay. Well, because it's not safe at the points, the points that people are supposed to pass, because people are assaulted by like jingoists. I mean, we have in Texas, we have always had, but now we have really brutal vigilante citizens. And the violence is not being done by the immigrants. The violence is being done by the citizens.
Yeah,
That's it. And I know that's
yeah.
pretty far left for you. So like, but I just don't.
I just don't know enough. I don't know where you'd have to show me some facts to back up the fact that there was no issue at all with the border. I think people who
Well,
are
it's more.
people a lot of
It's
smart
more that
people
like.
who I trust who are more in touch with that situation. I think would probably disagree and say that at some point it could have been reined in a little better because it's not there are shitty people coming across.
I mean, maybe.
Not maybe. I mean, come on. Out of the millions of people that come across, you don't think some gangbangers and immigrants and idiots have come across? It's just the statistics alone. That some of them are. It's just I've never met one. I'm with you without because I've never met one. I've never seen one, and I work with immigrants, and I've never met one who I thought was a shitty person. I don't see it around me. I don't see it in my community. What you're saying is looks to me like the truth that there is no immigrant issue at all. But I also realize I don't live on the border, right? I'm not in Arizona dealing with it. I'm not, so I don't have the information to be like, look, there's just no problem at all. That's a step too far for me.
Well, I meant it hyperbolically, but like
Clearly,
I think that's what we're up against.
yeah, no.
is hyperbole. Like I think that the
Yes.
conflict,
Yes.
has that problem.
Yes. He scares idiots with a couple of really big items, and one of them is just that all immigrants, and he says it over and over, criminals, rapists, murderers, and people from mental asylums.
He's talking about himself, though.
Yes, always.
He's talking about himself.
He's always talking about himself. When he calls Jasmine Crockett low IQ, he's talking about himself. When he says they made up fake news on the left, he's talking about himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't know if people can't see that.
That was my only point, is that it, like, taking a hard stance on it is kind of ridiculous in our society. And I understand how it sounds when people hear it, but like, there's not, what's the word? There's no meat on that bone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no, you're not wrong. You're right. There's no meat on that bone. It's bullshit. It's all bullshit.
That was it.
But
thanks for having me.
You're the man. Take it easy. Christians got beat up yesterday in Minnesota. Really? Did they? Isn't the problem employers? Who are employing those people? Is that what you're saying? Can't just have a bunch of hosers around. It's true, man. Yammerhead, I'm reading your comments. It's good stuff. Yeah. Some of those that work forces are the same that burn crosses. Some of those that work forces. Cletus Van Dam, I don't know what that means. Who is, yeah, Roland? For one thing, it might seem like that because, um, a lot of those Muslim immigrants are doctors and shit, right? My cancer doc is a great guy. He's Pakistani. He doesn't give a shit about Islam. I talked to him about it because he's a man of science. He's like, I just wish all that shit would go away. But if you look at a lot of Indians, Asians, Arabs, a lot of those people are here because they cared about education. They went to university, and now they're the better doctor than the idiot that you got in South Dakota. That's went to East Bumfuck you. So I don't know. I'm not that. I don't. I'm just a fucking mouth on TikTok. I don't have stats on importing Muslim immigrants. What are you even talking about? Some of those that work forces is a Rage Against the Machine line. Okay, Rage Against the Machine. Don't know anything about it. Trump doesn't know the difference between coming from an asylum and seeking asylum. Man, it's going to be fun to watch him decline. I mean, we are watching it, right? Going through your comments there, Lucy. Join Bohemian Lucy not in Missouri, but on YouTube, where you can find us. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us on X, which I never use. It's El Robinero on X. I very rarely go on that piece of shit anymore. Well, see, the thing about employers is, and I know because I go through this, the fake IDs are as good as they get. The guys come in with ID, and I'm not a detective. It's not our job to dive into the veracity of perfectly executed documents. It's not, if it looks good and they can present it, we don't have any mechanism even for it. That's not on us. We've done our due diligence. If we can take copies of what for all intents and purposes seems to be legit documentation. So to put it on employers is, I got a little bit of a different perspective on that. You can't always tell. It's the whole fucking system, believe me. And again, there's got to be a way to stop that from needing to happen. Love my guy. I chose the other path. Always a astute commentator. Hitting the old crack pipe here. All hail Lord Vader. Every knee shall bend. Every knee will bend to Veda one day. I understand small employers, but companies like Tyson, no excuse. Well, a lot of them. I mean, if they can be shown to have known that they're doing it, that's for sure. Um, Above my head, it's a Millennium Falcon kite. It's like a box kite. I didn't have anywhere to store it, so I just hung it from a hook that was already in the ceiling. Somebody gave it to us for the No Kings thing parade when we paraded around the Trump effigy with the fat suit. Yeah, the little hands were part of that costume. The head's over there. The Trump head's up there on the shelf. See it? Among all my other props. And the fat suit's in the drawer. It was pretty funny. Diaper, drew nipples on it, gold fig leaf. Yeah, paraded it around downtown Cape Town. And did the Trump dance where he's beating off two guys at once. Do you listen to a lot of Rage Against the Machine, Bohemian? Yeah, the states and it's a bureaucracy issue. The states and the feds need to be able to get together on making sure everybody's IDs are in sync. Nikki Baker, what's up in Montana? Where you at in Montana? My dad's out in the Ennis area. Get to Montana once in a while. Love it out there. Big sky country, home of the original libertarians in the country. Now, sadly, just shitty MAGA conservatives. My sister owns it. You live in Billings, all right? I was in Billings not that long ago. Stayed in a hotel that was seriously fucked up. My girlfriend and I took a video of the room. We got the room, and they just like hadn't done it. The window was open, and it was September. It was not warm at night. It was like the smoke detector had been ripped out of the wall. They like hadn't. It was straight jacked up. We laughed, and it was too late to give a shit, and we just like slept and got the fuck out of there as fast as possible. But man, oh man! And after we had a nice sushi, you can imagine going to Montana and having sushi. That's what we did. Drove all the way to Billings, found a nice joint, and had sushi. 2,000 miles from the nearest coast. Well, see, people don't, they don't get it. They haven't watched the History Channel. They haven't taken real history in school. They've been lied to. And American exceptionalism is real. And now we've got generations of people that don't remember what the world went through in World War II and World War. They don't. It's as far removed from them as the invention of the light bulb. It's not on their square. It's not on their Instagram. None of that. They don't. And if this asshole looks like he's sticking up for them, especially these fucktard incels and all these dispossessed country MAGA fucks, who were threatened somehow by a kid who wants to identify as a girl, for whatever how that affects. I have no idea, but they're upset by the rise in urban culture. They're upset by the nature of modern art on all its levels. They decry what I can only deem as diversity of popular culture as immoral somehow because it includes sexier shit than it used to. I don't know what to say to you about any of that. Okay. Rage Against the Machine is like rap metal fusion, right? Isn't Rage Against the Machine? Who's the people behind that? I don't know a lot about. It. I don't like metal very much, but I respect people who've like gone to the fusion place with that. Of course, and that's the thing. That's what and then they install their their echo chambers, right? Fox News was installed ahead of time. Fox News took over so many country stations that the only news those people got was Fox News, and they were brought up to trust the president. They were brought up to trust the regime. They were brought up to believe that that guy had their, And so when you get lied to by the only news that you get, and you believe the news because you're just grandma and you're afraid of Muslims and you're afraid of Mexicans and you're afraid of this and you're afraid of atheists and you're afraid of that, you're going to believe what a crooked con man says to you. These are the same people that fall for the Nigerian prince schemes who need money. They're innocent country folk who, for whatever reason, feel completely ignored by the other side. And I blame the other side. I do. I blame the left. Thank you, Brandy, for that. That was awesome. I got a heart me from Brandy. They're rubes, and when you say that, it just makes it worse. Like Hillary calling them deplorables. They're not that stupid, right? They get it when they're being, openly mocked by elitists, people with that fancy education, and people who seem like they're a threat to Christianity, not because they are, but because an advancing society of more educated, science-minded people is going to let Christianity go, and that's what we see. We see it every day. Christianity continues to die, even as the people in power continue to insist that it's alive and well. And it doesn't help this other shit. Fucking CNN is not is they popularize anything that has to do with the Pope. They popularize anything. Oh, and we're gonna meet a woman of faith. Who gives a shit? And I made a woman of faith whose faith is so important in her strive to her struggle to better her nation. Shut the fuck up about religion. Let it go away. Ali Al-Wazir. Ali Al-Wazir. Oh, Christina. Not all rural people are naive. That's true. I mean, we see it all the time. There was a blue dot guy from Florida here. Everywhere you go. I was that kid. I had to leave rural New England, and people think of Connecticut as being real liberal. I lived in some fucking hick ass towns. 500-600 people, farmers, NASCAR folk. More liberal in some ways than the assholes in the Midwest. This is really sick out here because people are just in your shit. Like in New England, people are like, you know what? You don't talk to people about their fucking religion. It's not your business. You don't talk to people about their politics. Let them vote for who they want, and the vote didn't matter. Mike, what's up, man? How you been? Yes, because he is a criminal. He is a criminal, and unfortunately, it's what when he says that when he's weaponizing the justice system against his enemies, but he says that it was weaponized against him, and it was because he's a criminal, and real people were trying to keep him out of politics. People who understood what might happen that we're now seeing happen. He's literally trying to fucking take Greenland when no one wants it but him. Nobody wants it. Denmark doesn't want it. Greenland doesn't want it. Europe doesn't want it. 75% of people here think it's a bad idea. He wants it. I mean, he's just, what an ignorant fuck. Thanks for the necklace, Mike. Appreciate you guys. Yes. Thank you, Metallica. And everything is a distraction from something. From the economy more than the Epstein files. I don't know what's really in it that except him every page. Again, he doesn't. I don't think anybody really thinks he did anything completely actionable. It's just he knew, and he fucking was all over the guy for a lot of years. Enablers, whatever. Yeah, I thought Canada was supposed to be the 51st state anyway, right? I don't know why we wouldn't make Canada like 10 states or 8 or 12 or however many provinces they have, 15, 20, I don't know. And then Greenland, so we could have like 62 states. How many provinces are there? There's more than you think because there's a lot of little ones in the east that you don't forget about. It's brutal that I don't know that. Sorry, Canada. Love Canada. I want to say there's 38 in Mexico. I know that, but well, the people won't put up with it. And sooner or later, the generals in the military are gonna have to be like, no, no, whoa, wow, that was sitting on a wire. Was the only thing keeping that thing standing up. That's crazy. Is that better? Yeah, Vance is just. I think he's unelectively shitty, but the candidate. Yes, of course. Canada and Greenland both. Yeah, they don't. Why? What's with the fine? Why just release the fucking things? He makes it so much worse by making it obvious that he doesn't want him to come out. Yeah, it's all going to go ugly for him. Again, a Republican was on the news going, he'll get impeached if he actually tries to invade Greenland. And now we got Germany sending troops, personnel. We got the European Union is not. They're so much smarter than Trump. It's crazy. Everybody's smarter than Trump. They know on a world stage. Why do you think Putin owns him? He knows exactly how to play him. He's literally the worst poker player in the world, and he has to be, therefore, the worst negotiator in the world. Anybody can bully when you're in a position of strength, but when it came down to it, one on one, if they started with 10 chips each, he'd already taken it in the shoot like 8 times. He's just a dummy. All you got to do is flatter him, and you can get him to do whatever you want. Yeah, because he gets a kickback. You're exactly right, Johnny. All the minerals in Greenland, if he gets the rights to that, he's gonna make it. He's gonna sell the deals to the people that can mine it, and he's gonna get a kickback. This is all about his personal enrichment. He doesn't care about the future of the world. Why would he? He's gonna die. The real red flag is that he bankrupted a casino. How do you bankrupt a casino? That is a real serious red flag. Remember when we thought W had a shitty vocabulary, Yammerhand? Remember when we thought W was like, here's a guy like an eighth grade vocabulary. Trump's is like a fifth grader. It's fabulous. Yeah, it is probably better than printing money. I don't know. Yeah, casino business is a no brainer. But again, he's just an idiot. He's a burner. He's a wealth burner. He has a big problem with asset, especially when you hear Bush talk now. When you go back and talk to old man Bush when his pressure's off and the lights aren't in his face, he's actually okay. He's not as stupid as I thought he was. Because he always like a deer in the headlights when he was the president. And I just, part of it was he's not super smart, but part of it was he just wasn't, he wasn't super comfortable in those situations and he didn't do well under pressure speaking. Now he's like, you're like, holy crap. It's like listening to a history professor talk compared to Trump. Well, that's already happening, right? Europe's just they're making their own deals. They're like they're just finished changing the way they do all their business, tariffs, reverse tariffs, and just starting to build trade with China. China's going to get all the business. So yeah, stupid. He does, right? Bush was a puppet for Cheney. That's the end of it. We're gonna go. It's 11:30. Thanks for jumping on. It's only a matter of time, Scott Clower, if this shit keeps up. We are gonna be shunned. We're gonna be pariahs. We're gonna be shut out, and the whole thing will fucking fall apart because nobody wants that. This dude he's an idiot. The Republicans are gonna have to fucking pay the piper sooner or later. The longer they stick with him, the stupider it looks. They need to fight for their future in the next elections, and nobody's gonna want his name on the ticket, especially if this shit keeps going south. So, love you guys. I will see you next time. Remember to check us out on YouTube. Have a great rest of your Sunday. Enjoy some football. Go Patriots. All right. One more for you, Luz. Love you, baby.